Hanif, do you want to know something about our body?
What is it, Azman?
Why don't you try to swallow your saliva for 2 times? What do you think about it?
I think it is hard for me to swallow my saliva at the second time compared to the first time.
Okay, now why don't you try to drink this water? So what do you think about it after you drink the water?
Okay, after taking a glass of water, I think it is easier for me to swallow my saliva compared to without taking any glass of water.
So do you know why this is happening?
No, I don't know why.
This is happening because
Swallowing involves both voluntary and involuntary action. While we can consciously initiate swallowing, once the process begins, it becomes largely involuntary. Rapidly swallowing saliva can be difficult because the reflexive nature of swallowing need time to reset between each swallow, and trying to swallow too quickly can disrupt this process. Additionally, saliva production isn't constant, so there might be not enough saliva available for rapid swallowing.
So the answer for the second question is, when we drink water, the water enhances the lubrication and fluidity of the oral and pharyngeal environment. This can reduce the resistance encountered during swallowing. This reduction in resistance is because of the decreased viscosity of the saliva itself, resulting in smoother and easier swallowing compared to just swallowing saliva in the mouth cavity without drinking any water.
Aliana,
Yes.
I'm bored.
Me too.
Let's play a game.
What game?
A game called Reaction Time to Sign.
What game is that? I never heard about it.
Okay, let me explain first. First, we need 2 stopwatch. So I will use my phone and you can use your watch.
Alright.
Okay. Then one of us will be the experimenter and one of us will be the subject. So each time the experimenter stop the stopwatch, the subject must stop the stopwatch too.
Okay.
And then we have to measure the time lapse between the experimenter and the subject action.
I
And
understand.
we also have to do this 10 times.
Are you serious?
Yes. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
That was so fun.
Yes.
And now we are back to nothing.
Oh, I have another idea.
What is it?
What about we play another game, but we also use the stopwatch, and you use your phone. We both need to stand up, but I will close your eyes. I don't think another thing. Okay. Okay. I need you to close your eyes because this game is to play about the reaction time to touch.
Oh,
Yes.
now I understand.
So when we both stand up and you close your eyes, I not close my eyes. So when I start my stopwatch, you will also start at the same time. But when I want to stop the stopwatch, I will use my feet to touch your feet. So at that time, you also need to stop your watch.
Okay.
Understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go. It's over.
Yes.
But how can I still react when I close my eyes?
Let's do some research. Oh, this is because.
Moving on to question 4, experiment 5.2, reaction time to sign. Is there any evidence that the subject improved with practice? The answer is yes. Time lapse for trial 3 and above shows that there is improvement as the time lapse no longer exceeds 0.30 seconds after trial 3. Next, for experiment 5.3, reaction time to touch. Is the subject's reaction time longer in the experiment 5.3 compared to experiment 5.2? If so, why? The response time to touch is quicker than to sign because touch triggers a direct nerve pathway, allowing for almost instantaneous reactions even before conscious awareness. In contrast, visual stimuli involve a more complex neutral pathway, including the eyes, brain, spinal cord, and muscles, which take longer to process and respond to. What are the possible causes for delay as impulse travel this particular pathway? First is synaptic transmission. The time taken for neurotransmitter to cross synapses between neurons can introduce delay. Second is length of pathway. Longer pathway may naturally result in longer transmission time. Third is signal processing. The complexity of signal processing in the spinal cord or brain can contribute to delays as information is integrated and interpreted. Which of the reflex that you have investigated are spinal reflex and which are cerebral? Explain your answer. Reaction time to sign is the cerebral reflex that need the brain in order to react, as the eyes are organs that directly connected to the brain. Meanwhile, reaction time to touch is the spinal reflex that doesn't need brain involvement. What other reflexes are shown by humans? What parts of the central nervous system are involved in each case?
To conclude, in all of this experiment, we managed to know more about the spinal reflex and reactions in human body. We get to know how our oral mechanism work, how long does it take for an organ to react after receiving a stimulus, and what organ involved in spinal reflex or cerebral reflex. To sum up, all of these experiments were conducted successfully while following all of the procedures.